out the elim at 10 HP. Doesn't get the shadow to enable him to get the boogie bombs, which doesn't let him pick up the next 2 elims, which gives him more shadows. It gives him high ground control. And look here how he extends out the timer on the shadow bomb. He's in shadow form the whole time, is able to get into the player's box, picks up Nut, who is on the top 10 on the leaderboard right now. So it's not like he's just cleaning out the bottom of the barrel. These are other players competing for a spot in clicks. I remember originally watching him in the Lux Cup and thinking, wow, this kid clicks on YouTube. He's pretty good. I hope we get to see more of him.
Don't forget, guys, if you're new to the stream, just like stream, share the stream. Don't forget, guys.
If he's closing out games like that. Niku, the only player in this little package who isn't already qualified for the World Cup, but goes on a great little spree here. 150 in terms of his builds, and that's going to enable him to kind of navigate this super tightly packed park. You saw 25 players there in Circle 8. Circle 9 still 13 players left. He still has 97 builds. That's because his mentality is he's looking for the elims, picks up a number of jump pads and refreshes on builds again. So keep an eye on the top left. 7 players left now, and he challenges into the high ground. All of a sudden, he picks up this elim here, knocks the player out with the storm changeover, and top 5.
These guys are nice
though. And nothing else. Showtang picks up the 2 on the bottom.
Oh, we got guys, if you're new to the stream, just like, stream, and subscribe, guys. Like, stream, and subscribe. Share the stream. You need to share the stream. Let's get some more people in the stream watching the World Cup.
Last but not least, it wouldn't be a highlight reel if we didn't show Dubs, taker of walls, best average placement in a Sunday final, as Curran said, with a 6th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd coming out there, averaging 3rd place overall.
Nice wall, nice.
You see him just take the wall right away from Yoshi and continue running through the tarp, always looking for opportunities, looking to challenge, wanting to take the shots and pressuring the rest of the lobby. Hey, you want to win the Fortnite World Cup, you have to be beating players like this. You have to beat the Dubses, the Clicks, the Vivids of the world in order to get up there. And right now, Flex is flexing, saying, yeah, I'm in 1st place.
What's up, Austin Presley?
Man, after 6 games,
I mean,
2
I can't even get
one of only 2 people in top 10 with the 2. He's got himself that pretty hefty lead. I mean, don't forget, guys. It is top 6, so we're making their way into finals. So this is the cutoff point right here. 38. Again, these points are still really,
we got guys, share the stream, guys. You need to share the stream.
Like I said, it's the difference, 26th to 25th. Popping a shadow bomb, waiting a ½ second before you rotate.
Oh, actually, you know what I just thought about? This already qualified.
Yep,
you were going to say...
bump one more down. It's all good.
So
no worries, because at this point, really, like the one little spot with all of these guys here, as soon as one more match changes over, this whole thing is going to change. The leaderboard is so absurdly close. These are the moments that matter. This is where you will be able to cement yourself as one of the best of the best. And if you don't do it now, you won't be on that stage in New York City competing for your piece of the $30 million prize.
Too bad we cannot compete
$30 million?
Oh,
Too
well,
big?
Only the future can tell. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Fortnite
fam,
do $30 million.
with us. We are going to go to a break, so get up, stretch your legs.
I started a company, though.
Don't get too far, because in 5 minutes, we've got more action. Don't get too far. See you then.
Don't go too far, guys.
Chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's going to be there, all right? DJ Zeke's going to be there. DJ Sundown's going to be there. Everyone's going to be there, all right?
Not there. Tomorrow, though.
The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? DJ Zeke, I don't need no card, but what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen,
Creative Showdown.
June 15th, 16th.
You're entering that?
Forum, day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right, Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler
You're entering that?
It's dope. Day 2, Celebrity
Pro
Pro.
You gotta get a lot.
50 pro gamers,
You gotta get a lot of
50
people
celebrities all battling out for a $3 million cherry prize
just to
pool.
come up with
What more
create.
do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
Bam!
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here. Today we are
boy.
going to talk about shadow bombs and their impact on competitive play. If you haven't had a chance to use the shadow bomb yet, it is a utility consumable that drops in stacks of 2, and you can carry up to 6 per slot.
When used, the Shadow Bomb grants the user invisibility, move speed, the ability to double jump, and the ability to wall jump.
What? I was supposed to make it
Shadow
work
Bomb
out,
will
bro.
last for 6
I was
seconds,
supposed to make it work out. I would use ghost bombs and
until the
stinkies, bro.
user touches their feet on the ground. We've seen Shadow Bombs already have a huge impact on some of the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers.
Well, then disable the stand flip.
Yeah, for World Cup, because
Let's
that's
hear
gonna
what
be
some of the
too hard
players
for
who
all
have
of us.
already qualified for the Fortnite
Yeah, I was
World
saying,
Cup
right?
final think of
Don't
the
forget, guys,
addition
just
of
leave the
Shadow
stream,
Bombs
just like the
to
stream and share the stream,
competitive
guys. Yo, Kasi,
I think with
you watching
Season
any World
9,
Cup?
the Shadow Bombs are a perfect mobility that has its downsides and upsides if you use it right.
I mean, I think Shadow Bombs are very balanced right now. They're a really good way of getting mobility, considering they're an uncommon item.
I feel like they're a really good addition to the game.
There's
It's
Meg.
as good as a Rift to Go. Maybe even better in my opinion. You can get your position wherever you want to, especially end zone. People don't expect it.
They don't even need one person
Must
to
carry. You know, when that zone pops and you're super far, you can pop a Shadow Bomb and just get to the next zone. It's great. I love them.
Shadow Bombs are amazing. Like, I reckon that's like one of the best things they've brought out so far, because you could just sneak into someone's box or like get high ground or like go low ground without taking damage.
There's moments where people clutch up, like very ending, like they might not have mats, and Mr. Savage
So
came
let's
over the hill,
begin to
and he
football
went up it with the Shadow Bomb.
Don't be a trap.
It was just crazy.
They've got to go up the side of a mountain, and it's Shadow Bomb time. He's deciding to take storm damage. Yes,
Oh yeah, I remember this one here.
That one was a nice one for sure.
Oh my goodness!
This is savage.
The best Shadow Bomb use I've ever seen! Mr. Savage M.
I was
rising
surprised
to the
that
top of
that
the
didn't
mountain.
win too.
Thanks for watching, and
Well,
hopefully
he
you
took
learned a
the
thing
wall.
or two. What's the best way you've used a Shadow Bomb? Send us clips using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll see you guys on the battle bus. Or maybe not, if you're in shadow form.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Open Online Qualifiers. Week 9, the solos action has been fantastic through and through so far. We've covered Europe. We're midway through NA East. And I know you don't want to see me. You want to get back into the action. So guess what? We've got two great casters for you, Sundown and Monster D-Face.
All right.
Get it here with my boy Sundown, and man, that leaderboard shaking up. Good to see Macwood up there. We saw him get really close week in week again.
Not today, bro. Tomorrow.
Like
Tomorrow. He's streaming the
Dude, it's
Fortnite World
so
Cup.
incredibly close. We've seen the semifinals. Everybody kind of crunching up there, but let's get right on into the matches. I want to see how this all resolves and who gets those last 6 solo spots out of NA East. The action has been intense. The leaderboard is close. Use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Let us know who you think will make it out, because the leaderboard is changing every time a match finishes. And now we're on board here with Spook. 49 players left, so just under half the lobby.
Yeah, the only player we've seen really take a lead today is Andretta. Outside of Andretta, no one else. The boards have been extremely close, top to bottom here. So Now hopping in with Spook, guys. 50 minutes left to queue up here. We're midway through it. Halfway through all the queue times and the games we'll be seeing here for the NA's block.
I hear you said, how are we gonna turn it off?
It's gonna be close. I mean, every single region
Just,
has come down to some form of last match, whether it's a player overtaking the last match, everything
tamers.
on the final match of the server. There's Spook picking up Ramen there.
But
No
the one
99
tamers I got turned off.
back
But
to
it's
the
off.
lobby. You can queue back up. Like we said, just under an hour left of the queue time, so you get 3 hours or 10 matches to score as many points as possible. And this lobby is stacked. Outlet, Diggy, Macwood, all directly on top of each other right now. Macwood getting some pressure onto that cone, but not finding anything after the heavy snipe.
Yeah, nice angles right here, just playing with the perspective that he has. He drops a player there with the heavy sniper. No problem.
Watching Macwood, boy. They got a lot of people there, bro.
Safe and sound inside of them.
How much did I do?
Back in the hunt.
46.
Just looking around on the prowl right now. And so far, so good. 46 player.
Yeah, that's got a stream cut. Let's give it a minute, guys. Don't forget, if you're new to the stream, just like the stream and subscribe, guys. Like the stream and subscribe.
Storm there, that is part of those new changes with patch 9.20. If somebody has been tagged in the past 60 seconds and they either self-eliminate, fall to the storm, or fall to fall damage, you will get the Elam credit. Now you can see Macwood trying to get onto the edge of the zone as we do have to rotate across the lagoon, so it could get awkward. You have Wrigley, who's in the second spot, the player who has been very much so coming up through these open matches recently. You see Percently also picking up an Elam there. Storm threshold on your right-hand side. Macwood is 402 above it. What the Storm Surge does, since it's a little bit of a different mechanic, if players are being too passive, as Macwood not passive at all, going for the no-scope laner of the year, misses it there. If players are too passive,
yeah, boy, he can't talk at home. Oh, the lag.
10 damage per tick as that goes off until you're either above the threshold or you're eliminated. Just like that, Strep picks up Macwood. No antibiotics used there, but a nice Elam endpoint going over to Strep.
Yeah, and this is it right here. I don't think we've seen as many ballers throughout the day, but my gosh, there are so many still in play. That's a big reason why there's so many players still alive right now, guys. The vehicles are out. Nice double shot with the combat right there. Strep connecting big time here. Someone comes out the storm.
Oh my god.
Gets flicked on and taken out of the game. Back to the lobby he
That's
goes.
a nice play, though.
And Strep finds himself at 29 points. Can he make it 30? That's two big shots. Up and over the top he goes. He still wants this one, but no, gets taken out by CWV.
Gost Dynamo about there, too.
What's going on here, Sundown?
Good job.
Fierce Diggy.
But Outlet is running
Fox.
high down.
You scored Texka.
But took a ton of damage. There's actually a player directly above him who just lasered him. That was 150-0 in the blink of an eye. Now you have Neferux of Luminosity Gaming. We're inside the top 25%. Still up. Demo still up. Neferux still up as well. Outlet just got beat. Neferux is going to edit out, pop the shadow, and get over to the far side. We'll need to about face as he does get blocked into the player's build, opting to go around it and build just over. Nice little ramp for the separation. Fox picks up Big Jesus, so he's going to go down. You see defensive traps put in place by the player next to Neferux. Tech gets K's, and we're getting closer and closer to top 15. Fox is now out. Double edit.
Oh my god. Yo! Oh my gosh. Tyrese, you can stream it from off of Fortnite. Fortnite, so.
And it gives him a shadow bump. That is a
you can stream it off of Fortnite, so.
4-point swing and could potentially end up being more for Neferux.
He had 0 materials as well. This really puts him back in the game here, guys. It was all looking so grim.
That one's so sweet.
Will we be able to connect here? He's got the traps out. He finds someone down in the water. He could still commit here, and he does. 10 goes down. He doesn't have any shield, though.
Good job sticking with that. Saw that Tendence was over the side. Got his Elam kind of poached away from him there, but manages to stay with it. Saw where the tracer fire was and identified the player. Now on 31 points. 7 players remaining. Wrigley, who we just saw, was in that top 3 directly above him. You have Lyricid 2 above him. As Sicko does pick up B-Hanks, and Nefrox looks for the double edit. He has no more mats, so nothing doing on the launch pad. Will he find it? No!
This guy is a beast, though.
Nefrox, can he make it a triple? He's looking. He needs to get back in the storm zone. He does. Shots coming out. Shots from the player above. Double edit. Loses it. Wrigley picks it up. But can Wrigley find the zone? He did get the siphon. He needs to circle back around. And he found it, but there's tons of natural building here. Spook, everything is for him. Has 6 builds. Not a ton going on here, but has the high ground. Everyone moving over. HP advantage was to him.
Don't forget, guys, if you're new to the stream, just like the stream and subscribe, guys. What's up, MSNR?
Good individual effort pushes Spook up to 34 points. 70 limbs victory royale.
Solid game for Spook right there, picking up a 17-point game. That's how fast you can go from the teens right up into the 30-point bracket, putting you in contention for top 5, making your way to New York City finals. But man, Nefrox, he had a crazy play there with the double edit down. I thought it was all over for a second there, but off to the next one here, guys.
Always
Park. A little action right here, Sundown.
Always on to the next one there. 45 minutes left in the queue. And remember, last time we checked out on the leaderboard, 38th was 2nd place. Clicks was in 1st, but had already previously qualified. 10th was 33rd. Donnie JJ was up on that list. He's currently sitting there in 37th. Has the rare heavy AR as well as the rare tack, single shadow bomb, and 3 minis with 199 effective HP. So not in a bad spot, particularly as he picks up Z-Laner there, going to try and push in and get whatever loot from that he can.
Yeah, it was a nice little pick right there, but a little
control
pick up right there as we kind of catch up here. He is going for the loot. It's going to be risky. He steps right next to Parallel Tree's box. Cannot step into those walls. That was clearly a mistake there.
And he got him with the flint. And one thing you notice there, as Trey poked out, it kind of messed him up because the flint pushed him in the corner of the box. He missed his first shot because of that. Might have been able to win the trade, but wasn't enough. Get kind of caught playing Luke Gotham there, but now Clicks pushing into the box. There's so many edits going on there, making sure he owned the ramp, flipped it back, pushed himself forward, and picked up the Elim. Brilliantly done there from the Misfits player. There's a reason he's double qualified, the first player out of NA to do so, and he's going to continue his run here as he kind of takes a second, boxes up, and tops off on shields.
Clicks has definitely made a name for himself here in the competitive Fortnite scene.
Clicks nice, though.
It's interesting to see what he'll be able to do now in New York City. He is kind of shown up, really taking the scene by storm, honestly.
I'm so excited for LAN. Like, I'm so absurdly excited. Not just because we get to see all of these players all in the same custom lobby for the entirety of the game, see what the contestants go out, but just, does somebody play different? Is somebody a little more hesitant? Is somebody more aggressive?
I think they do. I think some players are going to stick to their roots and push through, but that might be the downfall, man. These guys are just going to be waiting for something to pop off to, you know, server collapse, if you want to call it that. This server collapsing is going to be disgusting at Fortnite World Cup.
I got faith, man, because don't forget, those Elims still worth the point, man. Still got to go out there. They'll be able to get it. Clicks, pick it up. Trey there, who we saw earlier with a nice flip-lock play, but not going to save you from Clicks as he pushes in with that epic combat shotgun. Pops his last shadow bomb and is going to get moving over onto the far side.
Okay, guys, share the stream, guys.
What he's doing, too, he's got so much material. He's playing for higher elevation right here. But with this many players alive, no layer is safe, especially not the lowest. In comes the drum gun pressure right there. Does see a player. And the campfire decides, hey, he's still got shield. Focuses on the next person. This is the problem with having a drum gun. Notice that was a little sloppy.
I was about
players
to say,
are so exposed.
And also that first bloom shot, man, that was rough. He literally had the guy painted, and it was just like one of the scenes out of the cartoons. We hit everything but him. Right there.
This man is dirty, though.
Everything, including you. Trap shotgun right there. You have Exulting just below.
He's dirty.
Clicks. The controller player duo of Excels trying to put some pressure on him, but just going to disengage. Grandma just below him. We've seen him on the leaderboards time again. Symphony also in his own box, but Bizzle is going to smell him out there and send him back to the lobby. Well done from the week 1 qualifier. And the Ghost General, the highest earning Fortnite player in competitive history right now, is trying to make his mark on this lobby, sitting at 30 points, already qualified 2 boogies, heavy sniper, and the
editing
legendary
so far.
Yep, and this is exactly where he likes to be, that end game. A little more placement threshold being broken into right there. Nice little edit. Catches a clean ealing on Nicole, who had the storm pressure. You notice that did crumble just a bit there.
And he's into the top 15.
I think I gotta share the stream.
The player right on the side is looking for it. Slem was actually the one to pick that up. So Bizzle going to continue going forward. And this is where he loves to fight. I know Bala has been a big talk about it, but how good the Ghost guys are at tunneling and fighting from their tunnel, whether it's Sean or Bizzle or Demo or Snood, every single one of them can fight from these angles, and Bizzle trying to do it. But the ramp in his face, Boogie Bob, Disco out in the open. Leo being the benefactor of that one.
I don't know, not in workout. You shouldn't got Boogie Bombs in workout, man.
But Bizzle gets set back. Grandma, however, picks up Leo right after, so we're on board with Shaded Talent on the ultimate low ground as Grandma picks up another one.
Yeah, Grandma is in this game. You see him popping off in the feed. Shaded trying to get up higher. The higher he goes, the closer he gets to Grandma. Will he be able to connect right here? Does the shot, it's clicked. Who goes down? Beautiful trap too. You put it on the ceiling, it's undodgeable essentially, and that was how he caught Clicks off guard right there. Shaded Talent now one step closer to the high ground. He's gonna step out into the storm and sacrifice just a bit more to get nice and secure set up in the top here.
And then he has the stinks to be able to rain him down. I don't know if he realized he's completely uncontested, but now AJ is forced right out in the storm, and with the tick over from the storm change, he's gonna get it. He'd get it either way.
GG.
Smelt it, he dealt it,
Shaded Talent,
and everyone else in the lobby had to deal with it. 4 elims and the victory royale, bumping him up to 33 points.
You would think we'd see more end games like that, where the stinks just flush out everyone in the low ground, but to hold on to something so valuable to the end, that's a tough play.
Dude, how rarely are you like getting into a top 3 situation where you have uncontested high ground and you have 2 stinks? Like, the reason that doesn't typically end up happening, you don't see that more often, you think like, oh, that's the best use case for a stink. Yes, if you get into that situation.
You gotta make it there, and then like you gotta hold on to it. So.
But whereas if you, and we've talked about this, I know Courage is a big advocate, if you have 3 stinks in a solo and somebody's boxed up, you can effectively eliminate them, right? You can chase them around or at least force them to burn a ton of materials. So that's why you tend to see players opt to use it, because you can get kind of tags on players. Oh, yeah, trying to go for the immediate wall replace, but you can see how there's a little bit of an issue when you get exposed. If the other player goes to shoot first, you know, they get that first shot on you. As that happens right there, and Yak trades it back out with Bizbo. You can take the wall and own it all you want, but if you don't hit the shots, it doesn't matter.
That was 2 125s. Precision aim right there. Yak finds himself a ton of loot, materials, zone. He's got so much going for him now.
It was actually kind of a misplay by the other player. I think it was Bizbo. When you're kind of poking there, you need to shoot, and right as you shoot, move your character model over to the left. He just sat his character model in the window, basically framed his face to catch those pellets. Make sure you're abusing that right-hand advantage. If you have it, you can't give it up, or you can't have it and then not use it. Otherwise, you don't have an advantage. But now, the other half of the Dubs Mega pairing trying to push in here has full qualified already for the solos and duos, and is now trying to put a little pressure on this player on the outside.
One step closer, he did take the wall. He doesn't even know it was his cone too. Did try to combat it, Flint follow-up frosted. It was just too fast. Mega was just too fast for him to react. He was one step ahead of him every single moment, in every single moment of that battle right there.
Man, it must feel awful to just get victimized by Mega and
I would be
Dubs.
so upset to go against one of these guys. They're too quick.
Just very, and we talk about like what makes some of these players good. In some circumstances, they do everything right. Sometimes they're just very good and they're fast. Like that would be what I say, kind of Mega, Dubs, Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. They all have like certain types of traits about them, certain things they do well. Yes, they're all incredibly fast-paced players with everything they do, and in and of themselves, that's almost their defining trait. The quickness at which they do everything. Beating somebody in Fortnite to the punch by a quarter of a second is enough for a shot. If you're doing that every single time, you're getting their wall every single time because you're that much faster, then you're going to be able to snowball those advantages, compound them into something better. That's why the best of the best are so consistent.
As we focus in on Mega here, let's see what he's going to do. We have praised him enough on how quick he is. He's at 14 eliminations. If you don't believe us by now. You're crazy. You don't get that high, that aggressive in finals. Guys, mind you, this is everything on the line for New York City, right? Potentially. And he just pushes through. Just goes all the way through, no hesitation. That's one. Someone else does join the battle here. Finds him as well. Quick little flick right there.
That was quick.
That was just gross.
That was gross, though.
I was honestly like, I half thought he was going to push in for the pickaxe. The flip-knock will do the 180 if you get that full headshot there, but instead sticks with the combat and then picks up the nice little double. But now he needs to be careful of his 6. Good job getting up 2 blocks, and then luckily, as he pops the shadow, the shots miss towards the door. So, you know, sometimes you got to make your own luck. Mega catching it right there is going to put down the campfire as well as the 2 minis. If you blink, you might have missed it, but he's now in the center of his zone, boxed up, campfire one side, launch pad in the zone next to him, and now reloading all of his weapons, ready for the next rush.
Yeah, he did manage to drop the flint and pick up a grenade launcher. Interesting to see how that's going to play out here in this end game, because it's not typical you see someone have a grenade launcher towards these congested zones. But this is the perfect time to use all these shadow bombs, guys. Just keep him in the game and rotate. He is on someone's heels right here. He was really trying to get that Elam right there, chasing him all the way up.
Oh, I was just telling you something, you.
Note there,
Boy, you just say it couldn't come out, no.
Double jump, or wasn't sprinting. He was literally walking directly behind the player. Any of those other movement options would have given away, and the player would have known, would have had an opportunity to box him in, potentially trap him out. That's what we talk about when we say do all of the little things right. You might not think about it. You might think, oh, I get the double jump, I better use it. No, players adapt. They've gotten used to it. They know to look for the smoke trails, to just throw bullets towards it and to hope to get it. But Mega going one step farther, and he still has 2 more, enabling him so much. And here go the grenades. Will we see Mr. Savage 2.0, who is the best billiard player in NA? He fires all of them down low, and no ticks coming through yet.
It's taking her to hit somebody.
The pressure of explodes, the sounds, it's as much of a mind game as it is the whole site just to kind of connect here. So let's see what Mega's gonna do. He's looking for the Elams down low. He doesn't care about who's up above. He's trying to inch his way down here. Just taking a little bit more control of this layer. He doesn't have any movement, any freedom space here. He's gonna find Dream TV.
Wait. That was a grenade tag. It had to have been. He hasn't shot anybody else in the last minute. So he had to have hit somebody with a grenade, gets flint knocked out into the zone there, but can he cover himself? 7 HP. Oh! Drops down. Winteroo, you can go back. It's the time of summer, and it's the time of FaZe Mega. What a sick edit and sick play. Now up to 107 effective HP. Papa Eggy on the high ground. Hoffner gets personally
Mega no kill him, my boy.
Like basically the rest of the entire lobby. Up to 19 Elams, but now on the low ground. Shadow Bomb comes out from Eggy. Hot feet for Mega. Hot feet for Eggy, but he's in the shadow, and Mega finds him.
Mega, he just did that, but he managed to really pull through and clutch up at the end. That was as close as we've ever seen it, and that was a 20 elimination game there.
30 points. 30 points for Mega. We saw him at 7 HP. Again,
Mega
I cannot stress it enough. If you're watching and you want to get better at Fortnite,
imagine dropping a 20 bomb.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine these people that go up for games.
I've had a 20 bomb once, maybe in a pub, I think, and I felt really, really, really happy. He's doing it in the finals against the best of the world. If you want to go watch these games, watch their perspectives, you can load it up in the client yourself. You can go to the leaderboard, set the region. Right now, we're on NA East. Then you can click the compete tab at the top, load up week 9, and check out all of the individual greatness. Whether you want to be watching Tfue or Dubs or Mega or any of the other solo players who have already qualified, I promise you, they will all put on a show as we get into the final half hour of the queues. And already Chap, Tilpill, Snood, all up over on this side. Clicks in the match as well. Right as I said that, Tilpill gets taken out by, honestly, the Demon Hunter right now. That's what Clicks feels like. He's just running around cleaning up everything.
Dude, Clicks is fearless right now. He's You know, he has nothing to lose at this point. This is all good practice for the Fortnite World Cup. This chap is now putting pressure on players that are gliding across, and what a death.
You playing it on private or public?
You do not want to have to cross this. You think, oh, I have a launch pad, I'm okay. No way, not when players have this much elevation kind of set up. This poor guy is probably going to use redeploy. He uses the flint knock actually trying to save himself there. He's still in the game.
Was able to catch himself right there at the bottom. You see Kearney also here, chap trying to get an angle on the rest of the lobby. Again, the Liquid Old Guard desperately trying to qualify and join Vivid on that stage in New York City. We have EG's J-Truth also in the lobby. Nobu Beef does get picked up. Bears also going down. 33 players remaining. Circle 6 and also a ton of verticality changes going on the circle. Look at the bottom right monster.
Yeah, it's going straight across another valley towards the tilted, neo-tilted mountain. You guys are very familiar with this mountain. It's been in the game for a while here. So to have to cross back, another steep elevation coming from the shifty side.
Yeah, the old that old clock tower mountain gives a really, really good kind of vantage point over the rest of Tilted, but it's really awkward to kind of end up fighting around and rotating over because it's such a steep valley into then this kind of like gradual hill that drops off right after. So we'll see some interesting rotations coming out, but now on board here with Joy with that tactical assault rifle, trying to throw some shots over. You do see Storm Surge over on your right-hand side. Only one more player has to fall before that turns off, and the rotation is coming through. So Joy is going to be looking for those gatekeeping opportunities. You see him checking the angles as Shiga picks up Sensible. Temp gets picked up by Joy. He's going to be like, all right, got my Elim, I'm out. Waiting for the opportunity to then rotate over and away. The question is, how long can he extend out the Shadow Bomb? Not long enough. Going to opt to use the second one. Does get to tick over in the Storm as well onto Shiga. So good job from him.
Look at this.
And now all the way far side of the zone.
Manages to really just hop his way up and over all the builds. Perfect usage of the Shadow Bombs here. He hasn't even reloaded the tactical. He's already on the offensive push here. Another player did rotate by. He's kind of getting his eyes set on who's going to be his next victim. Went from 1 eliminations to 3. Will this be the 4th? And it is going to be the 4th. Let's have fun, okay? We saw him a bunch yesterday, ending in the top 10. I think he finished about 6.
But doesn't look like he's having as much fun, okay, today, as J-Truth picks up another Elim. Grandma goes down outside of the top 15. Says Lucky
somebody
also
don't
down
touch
another
fall
player
down
qualified for duos, looking for a solo qualification. You have Snood, the second best average Sunday finisher in the entire world, but hasn't managed to get a qualification spot. 2 9th place finishes for him. Will this week be his week? You see Joy shots up towards the top ground, and he gets Prestovit with the drop down in the alley-oop afterward.
Yep, and here it is. Joy has now found himself 2 layers up and over these opponents here. You have to be very careful. He's looking to see if he can just disconnect this entire build. Maybe he gets some fall damage.
Needs to look up though. There was a rift that went off. This is not completely uncontested. Boom, there it is. He realizes there's the 3 players in the sky, wants to hold this high ground, so he's going to push over towards this other player, and he gets it away from him, except gets the high ground ripped away from him, and Joy immediately looks up and places the trap down.
Yeah, he did manage to pull that off. What is going on here? Click's still in the game. Baldy's still in the game as well.
Yo, I know Rashawn was in this one.
Big old rift. He's getting this nice rotation. He sees the mountain up ahead. This is going to work out perfect for him as Joy is...
Benjamin was in this one, boy.
A lot of builds coming out of him, except going up.
Rashawn,
and Click lands on the ramp, doesn't even care. No respect for Joy at all. Puts the double ramp off right there.
Just absolutely took it away from him. Clicks in the top right, Joy in the bottom right. That's the fight that's happening on the high ground. You have 2 separate 1v1s. Clicks versus Joy, except versus phase attacks and attacks. Runs it over. Absolutely brilliantly done from him there. After taking out J-Truth, gets that there. So he has uncontested low, but with no mats to his name. So Clicks is just going to rain down on the lobby. Only 2 mats left on Joy, and a singular Shadow Bomb that is there as well. Everything is pointing to Clicks if he can get his way down. Attacks, goes forward onto Joy, and Joy finds it. He gets the siphon, but he's down on the HP lead as Clicks has the high ground, but is starting to run low on mats. Only has 12 left, but that's all it takes. The combat shotgun from nearly 6 tiles up, the hard aim down sights for Clicks. 3 Elims, victory royale, locks it up with the 13 points. There's a reason he's qualified in duos solos, and he's in first place. Well, right now, well done, Clicks, but the action doesn't stop. Again, 49 players left, nearly half of the lobby in this match, and we're on board here with Raised by King Steens. 25 minutes left.
Yeah, definitely was a crazy game right there for Clicks, but jumping into the next game, 25 minutes left on the cube. This is going to be a close one here for Steens, as he is running out of time on the clock for the final opportunity for anyone, guys, to make it through the Fortnite World Cup final stage. This is it. This is the last moment. So another 50-man, highly congested lobby. Storm 6 is approaching.
This tilted cheese on, boy.
Through tilted. We talk about all of the natural structures and stuff that is already there. It's so incredibly difficult to move back through them. You can see Steens right now trying to pre-break a bunch of those, but there's a player right next to it. Gets the shot first for the 73, and then forces the player to disengage. Dynamite coming over towards this whole structure. Will Steens push forward for it? First edit, second edit. Players right there, phasing through the floor, and opts to disengage. No shot coming out yet. Oh, he found him. He owns that rift. Oh, that should be free. Yeah.
Oh my, number 124. Guys, the combat has such a tight crosshair. These shots are just barely connecting at the whole range right there. That's insane. Yeah. Such a tough shot to make in a close quarter like that. Beautiful flicks right here. Steens is in it to win it right now, and he is now replenished to max materials. Taking a look around the map now. You see, you have class in this game. Nuke's boss. Again, we see more boombo action here. Will we see some elims being picked up? Not as much as we saw before. That little change to the boom bows made a big difference.
Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of scoffed at it at first, like, oh, like 0.25 seconds. That's not a big difference. When you look at small numbers like that in particular, I advise people to think in terms of percentages, right? So yeah, you think, oh, a quarter of a second, that's not that long of a time. But one, a quarter of a second is about the natural reaction speed for a human, and two, that's a 25% increase. So all those like sick full draw flicks you saw before, you don't have the time to do that anymore. Because yes, the extra half second, you're like, oh, what is that? But if it's the reaction time for your average human being, I promise you, the competitive Fortnite player has a much faster reaction time than that. So all of a sudden, they hear any amount of that draw, or you don't get as quick of a release, it's not going to be as effective. Not to say it's not strong, but it's definitely slightly more significant than people thought at first.
Yeah, definitely. Percentages are huge, and we talked about reaction speeds. Nuke's boss has picked up a 3-piece on his rotation and has managed to find the tree. So close, hits the tree as Nut walks right past him. He did do the last bit of damage, so
nice
we're gonna have to look at that maybe for teaming, because Nut in the tree, I mean, similar names going through the tree, holding up there, just make sure. But no, brilliantly done from Nut. Super unfortunate there that the tree happened to be there, but you know, sometimes luck's on your side and sometimes it's not, as we're on board here with Clarity G, trying to find an angle, still has his baller as well as 2 shadow bombs, so a lot of utility coming out, has the heavy sniper as well, and you can see him just trying to find a spot to hang out with the baller so he won't get shot down. This is one thing about these baller rotations. The players try and hang out off the underside of builds so you won't take additional ammo. You still see about 5 of them trying to make their way up the side. Kazooie gets Boogie Bomb, but is going to be okay. And this rotation is nuts and stacked. Everyone trying to go up and over this hill. As you can see, Nistic, Tech, Twizbot, CWV, Nobu BFO, Prodigy Aces, Tendi, 2Chens, all going down to the storm. And Old Man Mountain, he is patient. He is calm, and he will claim his toll. The lobby goes from 30 to 18 in the blink of an eye.
Already?
Just over the mountain, a nightmare situation for these players that do not have mobility. And it's crazy because not one friendly launch pad came down, so they all went down. Everyone paid the price there.
It's like you're looking for recycled utility. It's like, who's going to be the one to do it? Hey, but if nobody is recycling, nobody gets to go. And that was what we had talked about. We talked about how this hill can end up for an awkward rotation. And look at what it spawned as the players now have to rotate back through it. TJ on the high ground, 2 players ripped up into the rift. Casker and Vayne on the low ground. Top 15 remaining right now.
And somehow Clarity still managed to keep the ball with the no health. Literally all it needs is 1 shot here and it can be taken out, but with all the chaos, all the players, he's managing to just stay in it, just avoid all of these guys, avoid all this problematic
largely by doing this, you can see hanging out on the underside of the high grounds builds. He's not going to edit himself and look back down, but right as he does it, gets the build broken. That player isn't going to be looking to knock that ball away. He wants to find Elam's clarity, looks skyward, hits the heavy sight, but no knocking down there. Kaizui is still in this match. Did just pick up Chief. Vayne also still in the match on the low ground. Kaizui going to drop, opts to catch himself, and then swap right to the combat shotgun. Clarity picking up Kaizui there as he continues to work downward. We're into the top 10 now.
Love it. He is looking to now take down this build here. It's not held up on much. And interesting, he had shadow bombs, but he waterfalled all the way down.
It's coming down now.
Someone is coming down. It's his high ground to keep if he can just hold it here.
There's no one there, though. It's fine. Top 5 and high ground now for Clarity all of a sudden. Still has 20 builds and the 2 shadow bombs.
Oh, man. It's going back up and over. Futat tries to land on him. Clarity gets shot. Is he going to be able to continue to keep it? Yes, he does. He keeps his high ground and trades a monstrous shot in return. Wraps him right up. Now it's all his once again, and he's replenished on health.
Great double trap there from Clarity onto Futatu right as he pushed in the box. Kasker and TJ going at it in the bottom right-hand corner. Kasker going to be the beneficiary of that one. And now he's looking, he's not staying with the zone, using the RPG to drop down Clarity. Clarity has zone position, gets the first shot, and Kasker finds it! He got the one shot! Kasker, you lord! 5 Elans, victory royale, 15 points there, pushing him up to 46. What a finish, my lord Kasker. Courage, that was pretty sick.
That was sick for sure.
Closer than that, right down to the final moment, hits the shot he needs to, and wins the game. Folks, I'm back here on the stage with my good friend Dr. Lupo, as we've been watching the NA action unfold. Now, Ben, you've also got a ticket to punch, but we'll get to that in a second. First, catch her to speed of what you've been looking out for.
NAE so far putting on an excellent show, and actually
coming up there.
One of the craziest things we've seen thus far up until right now is the standings have been kind of it's a new set of faces.
Yeah. This last week, everyone that's been fighting for those spots has risen through the ranks and is now in that top 10. The question is, who winds up holding on to those spots? As we are still waiting to see that all unfold. Either way, though, those coveted positions, 6 more left. It's coming down to the wire. This is the last opportunity they have to make it into the Fortnite World Cup.
3,000 players from every region played through on Saturday to make it here, but right now, the top of the top of the top for NA East. Here's your standings. Quick refresh of everything we've seen. Like we just saw, Clicks, multiple games so far today, 3 victory royales, only 7, he still has 3 left. 66 points, and he's already qualified.
Yeah.
So you have to keep in mind too, players like Clarity, Mega, even though you all the way down to the bottom, Colorful, those players, if they end up in the top 6 for NA East, all you have to do is just adjust the list of who's going to qualify. So if you freeze it right here, this is one of the craziest things, as we head into the final week of solos. Freeze it right here. Every single player on this board would end up qualifying because you have 1st, 4th, and 5th pushes multiple positions down. That's insane. And that's consistency, because then you have Clicks, Clarity, Mega, Colorful, all already in the top 10 right now as it stands right now. But like I said, still have games left to play.
Tough thing is, Aspect already 10 games played, won't be able to up that score anymore. We'll see if they can potentially hold on to their position. We know that that's a look at NA East. I believe we also have an update for Brazil.
The final standings.
The final standings for Brazil.
There it is.
Node qualifies. Techno Viking in that 2nd spot, so close, but not enough in the end.
Oh, look at that
the 9Z boys on there as well. Either way, Clipnode, the one qualifier from Brazil, which means we've got a ticket to punch. We've got a ticket to punch.
Jack,
the World Cup Finals. Ben, I know this is something that you've struggled with.
It's gonna work. It has to work. At some point, it's gonna work. All right,
do it.
So, I've seen everybody else do it. It's just a little corner tap. I think that I've been hitting the middle. I'll try the corner. Okay, ready?
All right, go ahead.
And
Ben. Let's throw it back to our casters.
Whoa.
To the break.
Hey Fortnite fam, BallaTW here to get in the nitty gritty of competitive Fortnite. Final circles in competitive Fortnite are packed tightly with both action and players, all fighting to get the victory royale. Let's introduce one of the most common techniques used to outlast your opponents in those congested final zones. What is tunneling? Also known as snaking or pathing, this is when you build a protected tunnel while running away from the storm and into the next safe zone. When these safe zones get so small, this becomes very, very important, as there can be opposing players on all sides of you. Here's an example of the most basic tunnel, the straight tunnel. From your base, you simply build straight towards your destination straight ahead of you, with a floor piece below your feet and above your head. This is the most basic and also dangerous version of the tunnel, since you're not covering horizontally. You're exposed from your sides. However, you save materials by doing this. The materials you spend covering your sides quickly add up. Then, if you need to go diagonally to get where you need to go, you'll often see players do the diagonal tunnel. At its most basic, it's very similar. You're just changing directions as you go, once left, once right. This is very useful since sometimes you'll encounter enemies that you want to get away from on the road to the Victory Royale, or the next safe zone is in a diagonal direction. So just change directions and move, but make sure to stay safe from the storm. Now we talked about how you're exposed from your sides. In both versions, you can add walls to either side, or both, left and right, or even in front as well. This gets really hard really fast, and this is why it's so impressive that not only are these high-level players tunneling so fast and without error, but at the same time going for crazy plays on unsuspecting opponents to rack up elimination points as well as placement points. It's a lot to take in, and oftentimes they do things so fast that you can't even keep up. Watching players like Cease, Bizzle, Mongol, Benji Fishy, and all the players playing in the Fortnite World Cup Online Open played from their tunnels can be jaw-dropping. So there you have it.
I'll forget this.
One of the most important skills in competitive Fortnite. It's pretty simple at its core, but at the high pace of these congested endgames, it gets complicated. That means you need to practice, and make sure to hop in creative mode and do just that. You can practice it in the open on your own island, or use one of the many amazing pre-built training courses that creators have made. This was BallTW, and we'll see you in game.
Actually qualified, it's actually such a relief, such a big achievement, and something I've been working for almost a year now. It feels really good.
I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments. It's just a massive, massive pool of people.
You need to be so incredibly proud of your son being one of the best, one of the best solo Fortnite players in the world.
It's still hitting me like slowly.
I was literally just laughing. Like, I was laughing so much.
Wow, I won $50,000 guaranteed, and I'm going to New York.
Yeah, gonna 50,000.
Oh, there you go.
As a kid, this is basically all you dream of.
The hype's really real.
It's a game I can compete in, and I think that's why I have so much fun.
You know Cynthia is Mega, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I'm incredibly grateful for Fortnite for like giving me the opportunity to just
I
pursue
got a lot of
gaming
good
and how many friends I've made through this game.
Thank you for everyone who believed in me, because I honestly didn't really believe in myself.
It's gonna be so fun. I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's Fortnite.
Lupo.
Skipper.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jonesies, Bonesies, and everyone in between. My name is Sundown, and you're watching the Fortnite World Cup Online Open week number 9. Yes, week 9 already, which means it is the final week of the solos competition. We have already seen Europe, Oceania, Asia, and now Brazil wrap up. We're going to get into the final moments of NA East, and I'm gonna need some amazing casters to bring us to the conclusion. It's gonna be Dr. Lupo and Zikamus Prime. Gentlemen, take us away.
You'd think after long enough, walking out from the same section would lose its pizzazz, but it's true, it's not the case. Still feels good every time. Zeke, welcome. We get to finish NA East, dude. It's the craziest region in terms of big names.
Sure. I'm still just baffled that Sundown called me an amazing caster. I mean, with an accolade like that, what else do I need? Let's hop into these games as amazing casters would. Here we go, though. Like you said, man, this is the tail end of NA East. And again, Fortnite fam, this is your first time tuning in. Maybe, you know, you've been with us in and out. Guys, this is it. The final week of solo competition. 9 minutes, almost 10 here left on the clock for these players to queue up. This is it, Lupo. This is literally these players' last opportunity to qualify and punch a ticket to the finals. Now, don't forget, we have 1 week left that has been moved. All right, and that will be the final duo week, but right now it's all about solos.
Number 2, with that adjustment in scheduling comes a doubling of prize. $2 million on the line this week and the following week, that final week.
Sensitivity high, boy.
In case you're checking your calendars. Appreciate Epic making a solid call there. You don't want to schedule multiple cool events simultaneously. Make sure everybody can watch and play, etc. Top of your screen there, and then we've seen multiple times climbing the leaderboard. Hogman squeaking outside that box on the left side. Meanwhile, Phenom here in front of you, pushing forward. On up 28 points right now. 2 eliminations, halfway full on materials, and the all-powerful tactical shotgun in the inventory. At this point, that's a joke in comparison. Honestly, so many people, especially in competitive, favor the combat shotgun because its ability to hit at range favors accuracy, and the ability to ADS, aim down sights, for those that are not aware of what the acronym stands for. Do just a little bit extra damage as everything kind of accuracy things pushed together. The spread is not as severe. Shots from the outside here, a quick little tap. Lauden goes down. Phenom picking up 3rd elimination.
That was a great ramp, there to mount the defense. You know, he saw the player, he eliminated the player, someone else saw him eliminate the player. I'm trying to find a better way of saying that, but I was like, let's just go for it. And then,
I respect the attempt.
You know, I appreciate it. Got to try sometime. You know what's crazy? I think this is the first time we're seeing Sunny Steps today as one of these final ending zones. Now, don't forget, guys, top 25 is that placement threshold. 15, 5 to victory out are all the additional ones as well. And every elimination is a point. So, Dr. Lupo, you know, these guys, we can't stress this enough. Like I said earlier, this is the final few moments. Everything they do is going to affect the standings, right? If they eliminate a player, if they get eliminated, maybe they make a bad call or a bad trade, it's going to directly impact the standings.
On top of that, you can see big shifts in placement. Might come down to the point where some player may or may not qualify because of a single mistake. 1v1 that's lost, that kind of situation. Red Sprite on the outside. Graska finding 2 eliminations. The second to follow through is on tilt. Pushing up the ramp here. We're in the top 25 now. Placement points going out for everybody. 41 points. Enough to put Graska closer to the top 10. Love to see that. Campfire down to probably the only time that might be this safe. Even then, not very safe. Multiple players applying pressure, shots squeaking through the walls. Graska's forced to turbo build. Try and save himself and a chance to heal up on that. Campfire, you saw High Sky rotating next to Graska. Making it out just barely by a hair. 52 HP is enough for a combat shot out of midair to cause Graska to have to go back to the lobby. 52 builds left and both minis popped. 102 HP, just kidding. 152, maybe 200 in a second here. We'll see. Graska trying to find another elim. Quick edit back down into his own build, pushing forward in the outside rotation in front of his opponent's box. Owning as many of the surfaces as possible. Really solid heads-up play there. Phenom.
I didn't even see that.
Damage dealt just moments ago. Top 15, top 13 now as Graska picks up more placement points and the eliminations from the previous opponents.
Now, don't forget, Dopai is up above him. Down below is Shaz. And look here on the lowest ground, players being eliminated. High Sky there as well. And look at the rift, just sending players into the sky. So now Graska's not on the highest ground tarp, so he's got to make a decision. Do I You know, the guy on the top, Deejay, is going to be looking up because anyone could try and potentially contest high ground. So now he's probably going to turn his attention down below. He could go for the contest and try to like overtake high ground, but right now, man, again, like when every single interaction matters, it's better to just wait it out. Try and get those placement points first, and then go for elims, right?
Seeing a slightly lower average score right now. In your stats, he goes down. All right, Luxury on the outside. Push there from Graska. E11 feeling real good about their recruitment right now. We've said that about Ghost, FaZe, and a number of other teams in the past, but right now, Graska definitely putting on a good show. E11 doing an excellent job, feeling good about all their players.
Oh, look at that, up on the high ground. Graska goes for the contest, and he overtakes, man, what's going on with me today? Overtakes Deejay up on the high ground, and look at this dude, he's dropped into critical HP. He's just got to bail on the entire situation. It's like, Graska, my bad, man. I didn't know it was your high ground.
Sorry about that. Go to go now.
Almost here. Top 5, Lupo getting close.
80 damage there. Graska looking to follow through. Pick up an elimination. Going to double layer above. You want to keep ownership of as many surfaces above as players are rotating. Look at that shot. That's exactly why. Takes ownership of the ceiling. Quick edit. Shaz goes down. 4 players remaining. 8 elims right now for Graska. Big game. Victory Royale or not. We'll see here in a second. Dopey on the ultimate low ground. 30 HP, it looks like. Trick and Nico King fighting it out. The same tarp, the same box. Nico King drops out just before getting the elim and actually goes down himself. Trick going down to Graska. It's a 1v1 with Dopey with no builds, 29 HP. Here we go. The shots from above. Constant pressure is all it's going to take, as this is Graska's game to win. Imagine a loss right now. Yeah, right. It couldn't be me. And Graska takes it home.
So, man, c'est Shafi, though.
From him, just identifying, you know, when to go for the high ground retake. Obviously, you want high ground heading into these later circles, but like you got to know when to do it. Because if you just go aggressive and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to challenge this guy. Often at times it's met with a combat shotgun to the face.
Timing is everything. Timing is absolutely everything. If you like you said, if you have a player that pushes up at the wrong time, maybe that player that has the ultimate high ground is already aware of everything that's going on. Could literally have a bead on you from above. Maybe you flint knock up, maybe you redeploy, anything. You're putting yourself in a shot in a position that basically says, please shoot me out of the air. Have this elimination. Excellent gameplay there. By the way, if you are on NA East, we are in the last 3.5 minutes of queue time. Get the games in, or that's a big misstep. Why would you not? Just do it.
I mean, especially if you have extra games, just hop in and go for those elimination games or throwaway games. As
if it's your last one, though, definitely play it all the way out for placement.
Yeah.
So important.
Absolutely.
Pick up extra points there. See the mark for the circle. I mentioned that earlier. Very kind of cool that we can see that from this view. Karu from the Twitter gang, or I'm not sure.
I think that just means he's Karu on Twitter.
I just love all the different prefixes and stuff people put in their names. The smiley faces at the end. Is goated. Spams L2.
I will not lose.
Love it. Love
a billion of them. Picks up air cool there in the crossfire. Now he knows someone else is close. Lux here as well going to get picked up. And someone's going to send Stinks RPGs, the likes, over Karu's way. But look at all this free loot. I believe that is a Chug Jug as well. I mean, I feel like if you're going to go ahead and dedicate the 10 seconds for the Meg, just take the extra 5.
Chug. Why are you not using the Chug?
Listen,
why are you not using the Chug, bro?
It's, you know, maybe he's just feeling a little bit of pressure here from things around him. Remember, we have more, I guess, like insight on this just because we can see more. We have more information than Karu does in this game. So
I feel like he's got to have the audio cues to know that no one is around him, or at least no one's going to pressure. The only thought could be, is there someone maybe 1 or 2 layers up with a heavy snipe, someone that could drop into this box and apply pressure when I'm not really expecting it. Yeah. But he was already at such high HP and shield. Look, he's even standing still right now. This is just so you know at home. Look at that. That wasn't even a spectate issue. That was literally he sat there and did nothing.
Yeah, I mean at that point you might as well have just taken the Chug. And just leave it behind. You know, listen, it's okay.
Leaving it behind now makes sense.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a chance to use that, but not using the Chug in that moment feels like a...
Yeah, so he could get...
Feels like a misplay. It's all right, though. Hopefully
very well
figure this out.
Could come back to bite him, but look, if he gets a siphon, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know? That might be what he's banking on. It's like, look, let's just go for the siphon.
He knows. He read the script, right? He knows that this is about to be an elim for him. Cool. Joke, by the way. Internet, Reddit, please. There's no actual script. Kidding. 30 players left. We'll get a top 25 soon. Crew just rotating around inside this baller. Not putting too much pressure on anybody. You don't want to make yourself a target and make anybody frustrated. You break their builds, that kind of thing. You know they're going to lash back. Kalber in the feed, pick it up. Elam on Tandy. Players in the ultimate high ground stills. Caru's rotating this ball. He's not the only one, though, as you see a swarm of ballers in front.
Right here on the edge of top 25, and this is what we're going to see, right? Everyone's slowing down their game. Justin, unfortunately, going to be edged out right there at the end. And this is probably when you wanted to, this is the least optimal time to be eliminated, right? Right on the edge of top 25.
It's heartbreaking because you've wasted 20 minutes getting to top 26, and then you get popped. Whoever you see in the feed next. Oh, there it is. I believe it was Swifty Slides goes down. Very sad.
Pushing.
Yeah, if you jump into a game and you're eliminated like 86, maybe you pick one Elam or two, you're like, you know what? No big deal.
Bad.
I hopped in.
Good use of time.
Yeah, but if you hop in like that and you get eliminated, it's rough.
Right now, not the best. I guess the last game, too, not a huge deal because you know that we're going to get another one in. But this is a lot of players. Styles on Gek all the way to the bottom of your screen, falling outside of the zone. Probably going to go down 2 storm damage on your screen. Were the point schemes, how to get points, placement, and eliminations. Very important. Percently, 0 elims, 101 builds. 17 left, looking all the way up top. Pushing his way back up. Player inside. A lot of baller play in here. You got to remember, too, I feel like if you mess with one baller, you're going to get the whole swarm. So you got to be careful because there's going to be a lot of people flying around you. Gal all the way to the top. Zakep, NA East out of time for queuing. Bugabot dropping in as well. Sebi goes down. Animal pick up that elimination.
You know, I feel like at this point, because there's so many ballers rolling around, like you just gotta crack them. Yeah, there goes one.
Speaking of, Animal forced out of the ball, are gonna have to build up and tarp out at the level here, which is kind of tough because there's nothing else connecting what he's built in on, unless somebody connected from above, which they may have. We'll see here. Good chance to farm up a little bit of tree. Some wood there. He's only at 331. Might as well pick up as much as he can. Move forward and build out towards the front of the safe zone, boxing up and looking back inside for an opportunity to take shots. Awareness here, extremely important. As a player in a potential top 10 of the board situation, you want to look for every chance you have to pick up even just one elim. Even a tag on a player that may go down to the storm, because that will count as a point too. You have that 60-second window. Recent patch changes, changing the way that players are playing. Shots through the window, big hit there, finds Briggs, an elimination. 8 remaining, that's the second one for Animal.
He finds himself a combat as well. Now, he did not pick it up. I don't think he realized. Unfortunately, he's going to be caught off guard there a little. Unfortunately, when you happen to, in those situations when you're trying to rapidly pick up loot, you're just going to drop a few things that you don't mean to, and that's kind of what we saw, unfortunately. But look at all the spread of people here, Lupo. Everyone's like, Percently's basically in the stratosphere right now. Just now deciding, let me rejoin everyone down below, playing Fortnite. Mooncakes gets picked up in the crossfire. Now it's only top 5.
Let me join everyone playing Fortnite down below. I'm playing a different game up in the sky. Percently and Jen now in the ultimate high. Tendons in the mid, and one player, I believe, floating in right now. It's Crazy Ken dropping in. If Percently doesn't look up very soon, it's going to be scary immediately. Nope, Crazy Ken's going to go down to the storm. Tendons in the ultimate low. Percently has the HP advantage, and it does pay off big as the storm takes Tendons out. And that's a victory royale, a 1 elimination victory royale. 11 points is still big.
Yeah, it's hard, right? Because like in games like that where you have the 1 elimination and the 10 points for the victory royale, it's kind of like, you know, you could have gone for more, but it's 11 points.
11. Yeah, look at it this way: 1 elimination and 26th. That's 1. 1 elimination and a win. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Still got the victory royale. It all adds up. While Symphony, a name we've seen maybe once or twice. Wink. Very well-known player here. 40 remaining. Good to see everybody making an opportunity to sneak their way out onto the main stage here in NA East. If you're just tuning in, we're coming up towards the end of these NA East games. The last week for solo qualifiers, week 9 here. It's been 5 of them total. So if players do not qualify solo today, they do not qualify solo at all for New York City.
That's right, man. Only 1 week of dual competition as well. It's crazy that
the last minute. That's why I think these are the highest tension games, and that's why I think players are putting on an excellent performance. Shots here, the infantry rifle. Oh my gosh! Nylon
is bad aim.
Beamed out of midair. Symphony showing that he does have the good aim, that good that you want.
You know, man, this is such a great point, though, in that, like, because this is coming down to the final few games, right? This final 10, either 10 games or 3-hour window to play in, you're just going to see people play very different, right? Like, maybe someone's more aggressive, but you're trying to say, look, I need to play for placements. I got to at least hit top 25. Then I go for eliminations, right, to maximize my time. Maybe someone plays very, very defensively, so much so that we saw, like, last game, they only got the 1 elim, but still the 11 points, it's huge.
Yeah.
But if you only get 1 elimination, you're eliminated, like, top 25, it's only 4 points, and that's where, again, we talk a lot about, you know, time management, game management, knowing when to be aggressive, when not. It all comes into play.
You have to realize, too, I've seen a little bit of this on Twitter from a number of different personalities in the Fortnite community. People are talking about how once the 20th and the 21st goes by, once the 10th week of competition is done, we have a month of decompression. If you have to realize that 2.5 months straight of people literally non-stop grinding, non-stop practicing, scrimmage games left and right all day, that's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress on a lot of these players, and so a good decompression period, I honestly look forward to it for a lot of the people that are out here. People that will not qualify can look forward to what's next from Epic. Bomb shot down midair. But there is a lot of stress right now because you're down the last 2 weeks, so people, I think, are a little more punishing in their own gameplay, a little less forgiving on mistakes they make themselves. So once this is done, you get a good reset period for people that have qualified, a good, like, a mental break, just for a little bit. But then you gotta stay serious after that, get back into it, because New York City is just around the corner. Coming up in the late July, it's gonna be a big time for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy, you know, to be eliminated and maybe not qualify or what have you, and get very down on yourself and down on your skills. But at the end of the day, you gotta remember, these players are top 3,000 in their region. They are here for a reason. All their hard work, things like that. That Spizzle of all people, right there on the edge of top 25 as well. You hate to see it, but, you know, man, at the end of the day, you just got to remember that you're here for a reason. You're an incredible player, and there's always going to be more opportunities in the future.
Thanks, Zeke. I knew I was incredible, but hearing it from you helps quite a bit. Your placement positions right there in the top right of your screen. Oceania, Asia, Brazil, 1 apiece. 8 for Europe, 6 for NA East, 2 for NA West. And if you're a real gamer out there, you're putting something big out, you want to see a cool clip, anything like that, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Tag us on Twitter, Zeke specifically.
Oh, man, I love when people post things. I love interacting with the community. It's a lot of fun. What?
There's good people out there.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Just like the Sneaky Bro art, they sent us the artwork as well. I mean,
the Fort9?
The Fort9, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, inside this box, doing non-stop work. Guys takes Dr. Football out, pushing up. Horn in the ultimate high ground. Keep down from above. Wipe-up. No shield and trying to rotate forward. Vivid from Liquid, another player we've kept our eyes on previously. I actually caught a clip of Vivid flying off the map earlier in a quad. You got to be real careful with those, bud. You got to be real careful with those. 15 players left. Placement points out for everybody involved. Kez still inside this box. Then 28 shield tags from the back. Gonna have to wall off and protect himself. Drop in there. The baller causing a bit of a ruckus. Shot from the side. Symphony catches him inside a box. Campfire goes unused. Symphony 10 bandages for a late game heal off if needed. I guess pick it up. J Storm Tyler's in the feed. 12 players remaining. If you're at home wondering why we try and commentate a majority of what you see on your screen in relevant times like this, because there are players that you know, spectators that will be able to watch the stream, people that are potentially blind that enjoy listening to Fortnite. Just keep that in mind when we're talking about everything that happens here. 9 players, 8 players left. This is Lucky from Tempo, already qualified, but does go down to Wipo. 8 players left now. Symphony building up at a shot from above. Gonna watch out for those layers. A quick double edit, a reset, and a build overtakes ultimate high ground. Quick shot from this guy, can't do it. Dropping it back on in. The re-challenge for ultimate high ground. Shot from the outside. Symphony down to 19 HP. He's gonna have to branch out, defend up, and watch the storm. 2 ticks of the storm is gonna spell the end for him. Chance from the ultimate high ground. He's got it all by himself now. 4 GG in the mid ground. Hornet, Twyfo goes down.
You just want him to do
that 4 players
thing.
left, and they're all on your screen on the left side. Symphony, no builds remaining. Has the 10 bandages, won't have a chance to tick them. Here we go, 9 HP. You had to take one build. Oh! Trying to find it. Hornet, 1v1. Hornet, Dave on the outside. A build off the last second, 52 builds remaining. Can't quite see how much his opponent has. 1 minute and excellent timing in the pop there, but this wall,
oh no,
gonna peel
no, you gotta go for the fight. You have to go for the fight. It's gonna be over.
Push for it. Oh, he made it back in. He actually didn't even make it back in. Hornet ticked out before it even became relevant. Solid victory royale. The last second there, what a tough spot, that plateau.
Yeah.
A flat-facing wall on the plateau basically said, you guys got to fight it out, or you got to build real quick. Crank those 90s, get back in the safe zone. But it didn't matter in the end. HP ended up being the deciding factor.
That's right. A great game over there on NA East. And Symphony, you know, he did place third in that game. It came down to having no materials, but he was playing out of his mind there, going on that spree. Just the way he was navigating the builds there was just incredible. Mad props to him. But like you said, man, next game, more Fortnite action on deck.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Brooks got his back.
There you go.
Cosmic here. Shots through, finds Mojo inside the box.
Completely, okay. I want, remember this in your head. Have you ever seen people, they instead of Mojo, they do O-J-O-M, and it's an elephant? Did you ever?
No, that sounds adorable though.
Right? Every time I see Mojo, I think of that elephant.
Elephant?
Yeah.
Why is that so? Please pull that up on your phone. That sounds adorable.
I'm gonna just type it out.
Elephant for my name.
Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. All right.
Figure out kitty cat.
O-J-O-M. Just send that to us. See, it's like a little elephant. You got the two eyes, the little trunk, and the little body.
I love the internet.
There you go. The more you know.
21 players left. Cosmic building up, trying to take that open high ground. Not inside the safe zone yet. Seeing the minimap, that little white arrow spinning around. That is Cosmic right now. Accidentally shoots his own ramp. A little bit of a misclick. No big deal.
No big deal.
Has the launch pad, has 2 shadow bombs, so rotation is possible. On top of that, in case something does drop out from underneath, has the redeploy as well. See here if that's something that comes into play. Shots on players rotating. This is exactly what he was waiting for. A lot of whiffs, but no big deal. Again, look at the amount of ammo too. 988 small rounds. Put a minigun in Cosmic's hands, he's still going to be able to hold the trigger down the entire game. Assuming that it didn't overheat. Right. That's right there. You saw a window edit in the center of your screen for just a second. Be careful with those.
Ooh, someone popped the supply drop. It's going to drop down.
Put a rock in the supply drop. Oh, by the way, Caden in the feed taking Dubs out. Big elimination there.
That's got to do wonders for your confidence. To be able to shut down someone like Dubs, you're like, oh man, I feel like I can make more happen in this game. Man, Cosmic's way up here though. He is way up here. He's got the glider flow, so he's completely fine, but yeah, he's up there for sure. Top 15 is the next threshold.
It's surprising me, no one's
even contesting it.
Oh, there we go, right there.
Fortnite World Cup.
A couple shots back out in the storm wasn't enough to break it down just yet. He's seeing that. Cosmic deciding to continue to apply pressure. Can't quite pull it off. Again, no big deal. Has the redeploy. Going to fly on past. Some shots come out from players on the move. Oh my gosh!
I was watching his stream, but his game
Cosmic beamed out of midair.
That is so rough. Don't forget the glider redeploy has a slower glide time, so it makes you way more vulnerable in the sky. You want to wait until right before you hit down on the ground and then deploy.
Honestly, not even that. I think the play there was shadow bomb on the way down, prevent fall damage. Just rotate through. Instead, he went for the redeploy. Obviously, hindsight's always 20/20.
I was literally going to say that.
In the moment, that was the choice he made. It ended up being not the right one, which is too bad. Back to the lobby. And actually no more Q there. Just a few times done. Don't forget that. Right. Shots. Sizzle goes down.
Yeah, it
finds one.
It's always easier for us to be like a little more critical because again, like we just have all of the information here in front of us.
Plus, we're the ultimate gamers. So
I mean, I am not. You are for sure. Not me. Everyone does know that. But yeah, sometimes we tend to be a little bit more critical, but you know, we mean it with, of course, the most love. Because we love Fortnite as much as the player.
Let me say this too.
Anybody
that listens in
how to be a German in it,
talk about your gameplay and we say something that may be perceived as negative, let me tell you with 100% without a doubt, you are better than me. Don't worry. That being said, I can see things that you can't right now, and because of that and my ability to commentate the game, I have the opportunity to say things about your mistakes. Sorry. Don't worry. I hear it from a lot of people every time I mess up in stream. It's all good.
Sure.
14 players left. Trick FN pushing forward. I did see the man, the myth, the legend, Yogurt Fart in this game as well, so you got to keep your eyes out for that. Big set of plays potential.
The names. Here we go.
Yogurt Fart actually.
There you go. Finds an elimination over on Tasky, and we've been in top 15, right? So now we have another round of placement points. This is where going from top 15 to top 5. Ooh, that error margin much bigger. Benji gonna picked up here by Trick. A second one over on Face Maxi. Wow, let's go, Trick.
set of eliminations there. Trick has a chance to keep this going a little bit longer if he wants to. Opts not to, but he is positioned against that mountain edge. Quick window edit and shots before that player can use the launch pad and try and get the heck out of there. Trick moving forward, gonna box in and start the rotation. Still not in the safe zone.
Yeah.
Keep moving. You notice here saving materials just a little bit, not walling off because he knows he's on the ultimate low ground.
Oh no, Lupo, the side of the mountain. It's Father Mountain. Look, Trick has to go right now. Cadden is gonna
do his crank 90s.
Yeah, you just gotta go up right now. And look,
it's fine. Trick caught a player on rotation. Stretch is gone. The edge of the storm here, and he's actually.
Where do we go from here? Where are we going from here?
We'll find out in 3 seconds. 6 players left. We're looking at the last possible rotation for a lot of people here. Player peeking down from above, maybe a chance to take shots. We're going to the northwest. He's actually totally fine. Big luck there for Trick. 6-3 builds, sorry. Down to the last second shot.
Oh!
Colorful. The top 10.
There was also a launch pad. Did he get it?
He did not, but at this point, this late, probably not a big deal. 3 players left. Shiga, Caden takes shots, sandwiched between 2. Trick gonna drop down and apply pressure.
He's on, boy.
Shiga, you can wait on the ultimate high ground. I'm gonna pick up this elimination, the HP and shield from that. Some materials. Trick down to 8.
Man.
And that's that.
Trick
Double damage. You see that?
Trick.
Shiga just jumped right on in.
Trick.
He probably ran out of builds. Listen, you know, at the end of the day,
slid down the edge of the mountain.
And this here, right? You got what? You got to get
but
in
at the end of the
limbs,
day,
boy.
he lands the ultimate trick.
You have to get in limbs, boy.
Sundown in the studio. Sundown, what you got for us, right?
Pringies.
What I don't have is.
You've got to get eliminations in this here, boy.
Fire a shot. So well done from Trick there to ride that one out. Good victory royale. I'm here with Monster Heat.
Go get Matt.
At some of the gameplay that happened in that last block. Real quick, let me hop on up here and let's break these plays down.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here, and the players to look out for, E11 Graska. These E11 boys have been on a rampage, and we just want to highlight how much of a rampage these guys have been just going on. Graska in specific here, you'll see a nice string of elims kind of coming out of him using Shadow Bomb, just keeping it super technique and super textbook. And I just want to talk about his mentality because I follow him on social media. He is the type of player that wants to improve week after week, and that's what we've seen from his early placements around the 60th, and we've seen as high as 14th with this duo Daxer. So they are
the how one them on my name is Mega
20th kind of bracket.
As boy, you might put on 20 bomb.
Have what it takes to kind of seal the deal here.
You my laugh here.
And this is just a solo competition. Take a look here. Remember, they're
in this
going to be another player to
look
out for next week as well. So keep your eyes on them. As again, just
but somebody sniff you the early next one. This my
game,
Garcia and Barbados. He rough.
50 points, right?
Griska.
About 55.
But my Trick shot
right
here.
Here puts him back up. That's a 4-point swing. That puts him at about 54 last we saw. So Graska's in a running. Now another look. Kez. Same thing, same situation, same deal here. GA Kez putting on a show here, showing that the combat follow-up just swift. No time for hesitation. The reaction speeds are clean. The mechanical skill is here. So not just European, players showing up here. Sundown. It's NA as well. NA East here making a big run throughout the evening here, and just super clean.
Super clean from Kez, indeed. Not just Europe who has put on a show. Every single one of our regions so far have been absurdly close. Like, we quite literally haven't seen a week like this so far. We are going to get back into the very final matches. NA East is so absurdly close. I cannot wait to see who takes away one of those last 6 spots. But we're going to go right on over back to Lupo and Zeke.
Thank you, Sundown. I appreciate you. And I do appreciate every region. Europe, NA East, NA West, Oceania, Asia, Brazil. Y'all some gamers. Keep that up. Don't change. All right? A lot of people working like crazy to try and qualify for the Fortnite World Cup in New York City. Those finals are going to be insane, by the way. Look forward to that.
I want to stream the finals.
And let me just say, too, going through this, I can't think of anything in my career thus far that I've put more time and energy into than casting Fortnite events.
She's on, boy.
Like, the
you
amount
know, that one for you?
From everybody on the production team to go into this, I hope that we have all done.
It's me was good, but
me too. because this has just been a blast, and I hope we're putting on we're representing the players that we have a chance
guys,
to
if you're new to the
commentate
stream,
over
let's like the stream and subscribe, guys.
I hope they all feel the same way about what we've done
Watching
thus
the
far.
Fortnite World Cup
Spades here on your
semifinals.
screen. Top middle there. Abe taking a chance to just pop a little bit of a mini. Got a metal tunnel underneath with another player down below. A quick stink toss. Pressure being applied. These fly-ins there. Symphony top of your screen, but Baldy, the player we've seen a number of times. The flint knock in hand.
Ooh. All right.
Epic AR and a rare combat shotgun.
This is the loadout you want.
Oh yeah, this is big value. Because he has 2 campfires, 6 minis. He's got the turret in case he gets ultimate high ground and he needs something to just connect back for 1,000 HP. It's a big value right there. Typically I say, very rarely do we see players utilize the, we'll say the pew-pew mechanic of the turret. Right there, shots. That goes down. Big pickup, first elimination for Baldy, 49 points. But yeah, the loadout is excellent right now. It kind of covers everything that he's going to need in any given moment right now. Poach from Liquid, smack the bottom of your screen. A lot of players that have been in the top 10 multiple times popping up right now. Air Cool, Spades all the way at the ultimate high ground. 38 players remaining. We climb our way all the way back to the top. The launch pad out. Good rotation right now. The later you get into a game, the less value a launch pad has, because unless you're going to ramp up above and use it with the horizontal trajectory, which, don't get me wrong, is very, very good. But if you're trying to go for verticality, by the way, a player lands in the same box, a quick trap, it's not going to go down, but Zlem still pays the price for trying to challenge Spades for ultimate high ground. Might not be the last one either. Oh my gosh, the number of players flying around above is insane. Spades, can he follow through? Can indeed. K-Dude goes down as the launch pad again. Sorry, now I got ridiculous. But the late game launch pads, they lose value because the more time you spend in the air, the more opportunities other players have to take shots at you as the storm starts to close. Spades sharing the wall with another player. Got to be careful. A box up and keep on rolling.
You could be cheeky with the launch pads too, utilizing that ramp to just give you like that forward momentum instead.
All right, I
propose
a challenge to anybody out there.
Ooh.
You set up a launch pad with the angle that shoots an opponent player into a box filled with your own traps. I will PayPal you $50 because that would be ridiculous.
There you
Imagine
go.
just right in.
Like they go flying, they hold forward, and they're like, wait, that's a box.
Oh, last second.
That was
Barely made it in. 3 HP. He's got to stay just ahead of the storm.
Anyone could just breathe in his direction.
This is one of those moments where you're thinking, I need to find a spot that I can sit and watch for an Elam. This might be the one. The campfire is what gives it away right now. Spades deciding to push forward, rotate around to the bottom. A shot behind the corner at it. Not enough. He finds him down underneath. Big attempt from Spades. 3 seconds to squeak it in. 50 points right now for Spades. We're in the top 25 now. Hornet all the way in the ultimate high ground, it looks like. Took it with a baller, which you don't see too often. Kind of a risky play unless you have something like a Shadow Bomb, which Hornet does have. Drop it down, stand inside the safe zone. Takes a lot of ticks to the storm, and that's the time for a slurp. Yeah. Big value slurp.
Big value slurp, but don't forget, it does take quite a while. It's 1 HP a second. He's got a long time before he's back in fighting conditions. Someone does go for the high ground challenge.
Player up above, and you still have one falling in, which you can hear that.
Yeah. I think that's what the player, so this player above Hornet knows that Hornet's down below, but like you said, he heard the glider redeploy. It's a very distinct sound, so he's probably just trying to keep himself safe. Hornet's trying to get aggressive here. He wants this elimination. Okay.
Nice boy.
Play there. At that point, he was getting beat. He was shot at from above. He was potentially challenging a player that he was not going to be able to beat. Player behind him gets caught in their own edit, goes for the pyramid play, and can't get Hornet. Instead, Gal pays the price themselves. Get up that first elimination. 14 players left from the top 15 now for that second placement.
Oh God.
Inside a box. Finds a player inside. CWV goes down. One more push rotation on the outside. Poach in your feed eliminated as well.
Oh, there's players all around Lupo.
Right underneath another player. They're holding it down. Trying to reset the ramp underneath. Can't get it 3 times. Gonna have to melee their way through.
Oh.
Very tense situation here. Smacked in your feed. Picking up any limb. We're down to the top 9. Hornet on 36.
Oh my God!
Hornet 3 limbs now for Hornet. A big reactive shot there to stay in this game. A chance for minis. Has 2 ARs. Not a big deal there, but the combat shotgun gonna come in big late game. Looking for headshots. Looking for angles from underneath. Hornet pushing forward, 66 builds left. Severe, the ultimate high ground. Players sandwiched in the middle. You hate to see somebody go down and not make it to the top 5, but here it is as the last set of placement points go out for everybody left alive. Severe, Shadow, Nick Cool, Midas, and Hornet, the ultimate low ground. Trying to pop a med kit there. Going to be able to get it off. Going to have to push through this wall. But stay inside. Last second. That might be enough. Coming in from underneath, you see Shadow in the ultimate high ground, popping those minis. There's a natural campfire. He can hit it real quick. He doesn't.
Okay.
No chance for a take, but he finds Shadow and gets the elimination. The victory royale.
Billy Bunks, right?
Well played, Hornet.
That's the dance I know how to do, sort of. Bro, that was crazy.
Don't forget, guys, if you're new to the stream, like, stream, and subscribe, guys. Like, stream, and subscribe.
Like, technical skill-wise, game sense-wise, knowing how to, like, get players to do what you want them to do.
Hornet's heads-up flick while rotating in the last second to stay alive.
Yes!
Was huge.
Against Smack, that was insane. Literally jumped over his head, 180 flicked him.
Made his way the rest of the way in. Well played there.
And you got to think, too, that's going to affect Smack's potential leaderboard setup, right? Maybe that shuts him down, and maybe that could have been his last game. We don't know how that's going to affect the standings until we take a look later on. Don't forget, there's only the 6 spots here.
Listen, at least Golden Boy.
That was insane.
At least Golden Boy is not here to call him smoke, is all I'm saying. JDW in your feed, picking off Complexity's Macwood. 46 players now. That's a very early elimination for the player from Complexity. Sentinel's Animals, 0 eliminations, 63 builds. Some minis, some Shadow. We're starting to see a trend. Let me just put this out there, and you let me know if you agree or not.
All right.
Consistency across the board for loadouts is typically combat shotgun, an AR of some sort,
right?
1 or 2 mobility items and a heal. And
yes.
If it's not 2 mobility items, it's only 1. I would say potentially 2 heals, and then the last utility slot, you could, if it's not 2 heals, you could say is a heavy sniper or flintlock.
Yes. So typically
like
we're
every
seeing
single loadout.
Pretty much exactly that. So it's either going to be 2, like let's say it's like a rift, some kind of mobility, 2 heals. Sometimes we see people, even if they're lucky to find them along the game, we've seen people with like 6 half shields, right?
Oh yeah.
2 whole slots dedicated to 3 half shields apiece. And then you're like, oh, this guy just wants to fight the whole time.
I want to make a point too, so that it's not misconstrued what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that everyone runs the exact same thing all the time because it's the only thing to run. I'm saying people are running the same consistent builds because consistency is huge in a BR game. And if you have a loadout that is consistently showing top performance, players are going to favor it. That's something to take note of if you're trying to step your own game up. Maybe you're not going to make this World Cup, but I guarantee you there's going to be events from Epic for Fortnite in the future. This ain't the end, believe me. And so learning those kind of setups and watching how the meta changes as the game evolves. I mean, we're getting updates that change things weekly. So you have players every single time that they're, and this has been, at this point, y'all, if you have not accepted that is Fortnite, you need to just accept that that's Fortnite. Now, let's all finally settle and say, yes, it is a game that includes an evolution of meta constantly, which means the players are constantly being pushed to try and figure out how to play the next setup the best. And that's good. You want that because I'm gonna be very honest with you. From a spectator side, I feel like potentially a level of staleness would happen if you're like, all right, we're back to a pump shotgun and an SMG to swap to. Pump shotgun, SMG to swap to. I feel like the combat shotgun has created more opportunities for back-to-back-to-back eliminations. You see Fiber going down there to Animal. It's just a situation where the game is trying to evolve in a way that makes it more representative of higher skill players and less representative of this guy is really good at the one thing all the time. You want to see people that can do it all.
Right.
You want the jack of all trades players to shine because they're the ones that have really put in a crazy amount of effort. They have skill, the knowledge to pick up everything about the game that they can as it changes. Sorry, I'm so long-winded about this. I'm very passionate about competitive Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's become such a big piece of what I do and what you do, especially you. I mean, you've been around for a long time.
Just about the beginning. Just about.
Exactly. And so it's like, it's just one of those things I want to see the game evolve and grow in a healthy way. And I know there's some people that are not happy with how the game is now, but you have to at least admit, those people have to at least admit that they're happy with the way that, I mean, and esport has continued to evolve. It has. It's undeniable.
Yeah, sure, and maybe just to like expand upon that just a little bit more. You know, Fortnite is an ever-evolving game, and you know, it is battle royale, and there is some kind of randomness involved in that, right? Like you land in a POI, and there's some form of random.
But you can harness that.
Correct.
You gonna get max, huh?
Why these players excel is because they can minimize that randomness factor, right?
Well,
like you said, their consistency. What can they do to minimize that randomness and give them an edge, which then propels them forward and continues moving forward? Unknown, great example. He knows what he does best. His rifling skills, his combat skills, his long-range shots. He's in a great position to do this, right? He didn't just land on this loadout. He worked for
Just
this
leave it like on the stream, guys, if you're new.
When do I need to fight?
Subscribe,
Do I need to
turn
fight
post
now?
notifications on.
Exactly. There's so much. Like, on the surface, Fortnite may seem like, I guess, borderline one-dimensional, kind of, but there's actually so much depth to the game.
I wouldn't even say on the surface it seems that way. You've got building and shooting and strategic positioning.
Yeah,
there's a lot to it.
Elevation, game changes, what you land with, you know, how you're feeling on the day, what your skills like, where you spent your time. Have you done your shooting practice? Have you gone into playgrounds before then to practice up your building skills? There's so much. This is why I love Fortnite. You're gonna make me nerd out, and we're gonna have long conversations about this.
This has been Deep Thoughts with Lupo and Zeke. Meanwhile, top 5 situation. My apologies for all that. Unknown from KNG with 6 eliminations. 19 builds. That Rift may or may not come into use here. It'll be tough to know just yet. TJ, the ultimate low ground. We're already in the top 3. The swap there, Baltic, Dylan, Glow Navy going down outside in the storm. Unknown dropping in and challenging Jayfree, but he actually gets dropped all the way to the bottom. Stuck top to bottom with TJ.
Oh my!
The traps.
Oh my gosh, he completely shuts down Jayfree. But look at the health difference. If he's not careful, dude, and they spend time in the storm, Jayfree has health advantage. He's got to be really careful how he approaches this.
The slurp, though, Unknown could potentially pop it. Should here momentarily, I almost anticipate. Here we go.
Do you think he just waits for him to drop down and try and rips him and hopes that the slurp is enough to take him over?
We'll see. Moving with the storm, Jayfree in the ultimate high.
Still ticking
13. No builds for Unknown. He's going to have to just, yep, there we go. The shots. Combat shotgun from underneath. Can't quite connect.
20.
Does not tick out to the storm. Instead, finds a shot on Jayfree. The celebratory rift to go into the sky. Unknown, well played. No builds left. No problem.
Bro, that was absolutely insane. Sundown, monster deface. Was that not just the craziest end to that game?
That ending was absolutely absurd. Nice celebratory rift there from the controller lord KNG. Unknown. Well done to get the victory royale there. But not only was it a fantastic finish to that match, that is it from NA East. It's done. All the matches are played. The standings are final. Monster and I are going to break them down.
Dude, are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? OMG, boys. So first off, Clicks qualified.
Top 3 spots again. We've talked about the sharing before. Clicks, Clarity, and then KNG's Unknown in the last one will take those top 3 spots. But 6 spots are still up for grabs, and you'll see the next 6 fill them out. So congratulations, Cosmic, Tuzi, Legidian, Aspect, Hornet, and Creo. I'm telling you, that had to be the most nerve-wracking final hour for Aspect. We saw him finish on 60 points. He was in 2nd place. These last 4 right here, from Aspect to Fernando, were all at 60 points. Aspect had the 2 victory royales that pushed him up into 7th. Hornet had 1 that pushed him up into 8th. Creo had 0. Fernando had 0. The difference, average eliminations, average points, all of them average placement. Creo owned all the tiebreakers. He had all of them afterward, was slightly ahead, 3.8 to 2.8, 18 to 3.6, and the average point 7.5 to 6.0. Talk about every interaction mattering. Well, all the tiny little ones and the differences add up. Congratulations to all 6 of you, the final ones joining us at the Fortnite World Cup final from NA East. But now I think it's time to punch tickets.
Absolutely is, and there it is, that's 1.
Cosmic up there on the board in first. 2. Tuzi in 2nd. Go ahead, Monty. You can
I'll get this guy 2 right here, man. Legidian, you made it.
Aspect as well. That must have been. Oh wait, it's Lupo. We've been over this before.
You sure you want to? Are you feeling? Okay. This guy, man.
He tried his best. It's all right. They talk about his snipes, but not about his ability to punch tickets. Creo in the last spot. Lazarus will have a member at the Fortnite World Cup final. Again, congratulations. But you can see out of the 19 spots up here, only 17 have been filled. We have 2 more for you coming out of NA West. But for now, we're gonna go on a quick, well, not so quick. We're gonna go on a 30-minute break in between the regions. Go walk your dog, get some water, get a nice little meal in you, because when we come back, the rest of the NA West matches in the final 2 spots will be punched for the solos competition to the Fortnite World Cup final. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, guys.